Your house is a fine little house, Jack.
Are you allowed to speak along the way? I was thinking there might be rules.
What a pain in the ass. Wonderful. Alright. Second sticks. Well, hello. How's it going?
It's going, guys. It has
Holy
been
smokes.
First off, welcome guys to the new year of Cinema Shat.
Yay.
And here we are. We're going to be You're so excited every time we do this. This is our new year, and we got some new things set up, and we got some.
And today we're going to be discussing hearing loss in you. So,
I forgot he fucking hid that from me like 2 hours ago.
Oh my God. So, basically, it's a video about when you can't hear anymore and you get a hearing aid. It's about
Fantastic.
5 minutes long.
Why do we need to watch it when you can just tell us everything about it right now?
In vivid detail.
In vivid detail.
Second by second,
And
frame by frame.
Scene.
And scene.
And
Perfect.
bit is over.
For real, welcome back. This is our new year of Cinema Shat, where we're just going to be talking about movies. It was, specifically, it was pretty much shit show where we talked about bad movies, but we're kind of changing things up where we're just going to talk about movies in general.
Yeah.
And one that I wanted to talk about that, Josh, you first got John to watch, and then John, you finally got me and Rachel to watch, and we all watched it here in the theater, also the studio, also the bedroom. And that is The House That Jack Built, starring
Matt Dillon.
directed by
Matt Damon.
Right.
Wrong.
No, directed by Lars Von Trier.
Yes.
One of the most controversial and yet most artistic directors working in our time right now. So
yeah, Lars Von Trier, he's not everyone likes his stuff, but he's an incredibly talented filmmaker. Basically, his films are art.
they really are. They really fucking are.
Some people find him pretentious, which I totally understand. I get it. He can be very abrasive as a filmmaker. And a lot of people think he's a Nazi just because he made some jokes about... He's not. Just to put the record straight. Yeah, he made some off-color jokes that weren't that funny about like Nazism at like at a film festival.
Yeah.
And people think he's a Nazi now.
Well,
but
people took
so.
the James Gunn tweets literally too.
Yeah, people. Yeah, everyone's pissed. Everyone's
Like
up.
people don't understand context.
Right. It's like he was joking.
Yeah, they're jokes.
A lot of people don't get it, but anyway, House That Jack Built. I'm so glad that it was your favorite movie of last year.
Yeah. I mean, we watched The Lighthouse and Joker all released in 2019.
True, yeah.
And those are top contenders for best films of that decade, or of that year and probably the decade. But The House That Jack Built was something... Josh, you and I were talking earlier. You were like, movies are different now. It's like, I watch a movie and I don't feel the same way. And then I turned to you and I was like, that's exactly how I felt with The House That Jack Built. I was like, it changed my whole life.
Yeah,
despite being grotesque and stomach churning.
Vile movie.
Yeah. Don't.
Visceral.
I
It's
recommend
motor
watching it,
oil
but don't
that's
watch it if you have a weak stomach, because there are parts that are very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable scene. Yeah, there was a point, John, where let's just say the second incident. We don't want to ruin anything for anybody that wants to see the film, and I wholeheartedly recommend this to my true moviegoer friends and people that watch us. If you truly love film the way that we do, watch The House That Jack Built.
Honestly,
even if you don't like it, just try to get through it. Just try to show the respect that, like, this is an artist that makes what he wants to make. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that I love Marvel movies, this is not a Marvel movie, and I love that even more. And I think anybody else can agree. That,
it's a DC movie.
It's original. Yeah.
It has a style of its own. Have you seen Antichrist?
I've only seen the opening scene of Antichrist, but I've seen Melancholia.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think you told me that.
I've seen Volume 1 of Nymphomaniac. I haven't yet to see Volume 2.
Cool.
But I'll probably revisit those back to back.
Absolutely, yeah. I haven't seen Nymphomaniac yet. But yeah, he has this like style. It's really cool. It's a really cool style. The like he does, it's hard to explain, but he has like a lot of his movies have like acts. But acts ACT like
like a play.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
play
yeah.
where he'll
Yeah.
even put the title on
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
on
Yeah,
the
for
screen
sure.
for you. It's
Well,
really
here
cool.
in the house that Jack built, we got like pre audio visual text, like the way movies did before there was audio. It'd be like, here's what's about to happen.
Here's what's happening.
Yeah,
right.
It's
yeah.
almost like a chapter or like an act, like you said. So like I completely agree. All of his movies tend to, even if they don't have that visual, all right, we're changing chapter or tone or moment or scene, you still feel it. Like in Melancholia, I cannot remember if there were title cards, but it definitely has that feeling
so.
where it's like, okay, wow, this feels like a play. Like we're in the meat of this now. Okay, we're coming to some sort of resolution for this scene, but not the story. And so I totally fucking agree on
Did
that.
you notice how Melancholia, it's like two different movies?
Yeah.
The setup, you don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
but the girl is incredibly depressed.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it on her face, and you're like, what's wrong with her? Everyone's like, she's at her own wedding, and she's just depressed,
Yeah.
but she's trying to like fake it, because she's at a wedding.
Yeah.
And you're like, this girl, is something wrong with her. And then the second half is like this huge explosion of plot.
Yeah.
Like
You're
this
like
world's
overwhelmed
ending.
with information,
Spoilers.
and you're like, holy
But,
shit.
You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I get it now. Yeah.
It's a beautiful tragedy. John, you haven't seen Melancholia.
I haven't seen Melancholia yet.
It's
No.
beautiful tragedy. Beautiful
Dude,
tragedy.
check it out, man.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it with you.
I got it.
because,
I got it
I'm
in
not
the
crying
queue.
in front of
I got you.
so.
It's one of the lesser grotesque
Hey,
films
I ain't afraid.
of Lars Von
I ain't
Trier.
afraid to cry in a movie.
Really? I
Yeah.
am. I'm not. No one's gonna see that.
I cry all the time in movies.
Yeah.
I'm never crying in front of you guys. Fuck you guys.
I actually cried a little bit in Detective Pikachu at the end there.
Oh, Rachel was
Yeah.
balling.
Yeah.
Rachel was balling.
You cried at Detective Pikachu.
I did.
Cool.
One thing.
Don't move on.
Shut up. New year, new us.
New
Yeah.
us.
New us.
gonna
You
start-
cancerous piece of shit. Just
Oh, I referenced something. Okay.
in the
so-
past.
yes.
In
yes,
the
yes.
fucking past.
I believe heaven and hell are one and the same. The soul belongs to heaven and the body to hell.
I want to talk about Matt Dillon's performance. It is the performance of a lifetime for him. I've never seen him more charming, charismatic, yet
Cold.
Hateable.
a wolf in sheep's wool. Like, he literally was every range you could imagine for an actor in that one movie.
Yeah, it's very, very good performance. The
I can't believe people left. You told
Oh
us.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
the-
the
movie.
film festival.
I feel like it comes from the uncomfortable nature of the
yeah,
subject matter more
Yeah.
so.
kids getting
the
murdered and
performance.
mutilated it really pisses people off, especially
Yeah.
like family people.
Right.
But yeah, at a film festival, I don't
A
know.
whole
what,
family's going to the film festival.
Let's just
bring
take
your
the
kids.
kids.
It's like Epcot. You fucking
for-
idiots.
But yeah, for people that don't know, at a film festival, I don't know which one, people like left this movie in droves. Like 2/3 of the audience or
That's
something
fucking
left.
ridiculous.
They walked out on it. So
Well, anyways, back to the acting. You were gonna say something. That's why I was surprised that so many people left. It's such a phenomenal performance.
yeah, it's
Phenomenal
interesting,
performance.
right? Because this is the most realistic, like the most realistic serial killer film. Because like I've read a bunch of books about serial killers. Everyone's morbidly fascinated with it. These people are not likable. Like Dexter, very likable, right?
Yeah.
For example, what's another example? Fucking who's the dude? What's his name? Fuck.
Ted.
Yeah,
Ted Bundy?
Ted very like likable.
Mhm. Yeah.
In the sense he's charismatic.
Yeah.
But in reality, like these people are damaged, disgusting people that they're not worth
Yeah.
like being liked.
I'd
Like-
say I wouldn't even use the word damaged because damage can. There's a lot of good people that are damaged. These are just grotesque monsters.
Yeah, I mean they're like the way their brain ticks is
Yeah,
damaged.
I get that, yeah,
in
for
that
sure.
way. I know what you're saying though. Yeah, like they see shit differently, and it's not in a good way. It's in a really bad way. But I really like how Lars like harnessed that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they
made it
touch
part of the
upon and they
movie,
touch
like-
upon the philosophy behind it as well a lot. There are many discussions that they have that bring out Jack's way of thinking and philosophical
True,
discussions
yeah.
between him and Virgil.
Yeah, a few things, and then we'll get into spoilers. That he's talking with someone, and he's basically, I interpret it as like this inner dialogue that you have. I know he's literally talking to someone.
Yeah.
But when I first saw it, and he's talking in like the subject matter is very pretentious and gross.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically discussing art, which is such an annoying conversation. What art is?
Yeah.
Ugh, no.
Yeah.
Fuck off. that conversation is so irritating.
We're gonna
I've had
put-
it in high school. You know?
We're gonna put up your refrigerator art.
Yeah. It's just gross. So right away you're like, this is annoying, but he's doing it on purpose, and it's like he's comparing his kills to like paintings and architecture, and it's like, oh, but this guy is deranged though, and so he honestly is like thinking of it like that.
Yeah.
And it's a very narcissistic.
Oh, he's incredibly narcissistic.
Yeah, and it's like it's supposed to annoy you.
Yeah.
I think that's
Another comparison, though, that's like that, where they're talking about art, is the way that wine is made. This specific type of wine in Italy.
Yeah, the noble rot.
And they're going on, and there's 3 stages of different styles of noble rot, and they're comparing this to the genocidal extinction, almost, of the Jewish population
Yeah.
in concentration camps, all paralleled with the rotting of grapes. That was incredibly beautiful and offensive.
yeah, exactly.
Beautifully,
That's a good way. Of
beautiful
putting
and
it.
offensive. It was like, you're dealing with an intelligent person, our main character, Jack, when he's comparing the destruction of humanity with the destruction of Mother Nature as the same thing, and how they're inevitable and it's going to happen and they must happen in order to produce the outcome or the sweetness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Jack was more referring to it as like a cycle of life.
Yeah. Yeah. Natural life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't necessarily saying he's glad that they're dead.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he
Kinda
never,
like
he
you were
never,
saying.
he
He's
just
just
shows
like a-
pure sociopathic
It's-
narcissism.
yeah, yeah,
At no
It's
point
not
does he
that
have.
he cares.
Yeah, that's what I'm
He
saying.
doesn't care
At no
either
point
way,
does he
right?
care
Like,
either way for any. There's no in any way strong. Does he feel strongly in any way or shape or form?
Yeah.
Either way,
Right.
like he
yeah.
just looks at it as a nature of life, just like the lamb being slaughtered by the tiger. It's like
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
innocence.
there's
Innocence
stuff
must
like
be
that,
slaughtered,
yeah.
and we must let out our savagery to become our true selves.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and
Hold on, let me sit
oh
down.
yeah, sure. But right,
Hold
yeah.
on, let me sit down. Okay.
Josh, stop talking.
He like right off the bat, that's a metaphor or analogy that is so easy to get.
Mm-hmm.
No one's confused about that.
Yeah.
So it's like not even worth talking about.
That's why I'm so blown
So
away.
it's just like, what? We get it. You're disgusting.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets it.
Yeah.
He keeps talking about it, and it's like really important to him.
Oh,
like,
it's very important to him.
like.
It's incredibly important to
Do you
him.
ever
Yeah.
have thoughts like that? Not like about killing people.
I think any rational, like, well-rounded human being thinks about any thought.
Right. All
It's
kinds
only
of stuff. Yeah.
it's only fair that every human think the same thought at least once, right? Like, oh, how would I get away with murder? You're not going to go
Right, yeah.
murder somebody, but you're entertaining the thought because it's interesting to you as a human being to learn and ask questions. And so,
Exactly.
I don't know where I'm going with that.
No,
Well, I mean, it's
totally.
evolutionary essentially, where like you
You have these thoughts.
have to have
Doesn't mean
every
you're a horrible person
account
or
for
you're gonna
different
act
things.
on 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, specifically, not even just like murdering folks.
Yeah.
Which I'd love to do,
Yeah.
but
You worked at insurance.
yes.
At insurance. Welcome to At Insurance.
Yeah. Because at
But-
insurance,
like
fuck you.
exactly, John.
Sorry, go ahead.
But like, you ever picture yourself in a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, like the stupid shit.
Yeah.
You're at the fucking dental office. Dental office.
Mhm.
You're at the dental
Office.
Yeah, dental office works.
Dental office.
Yeah.
Why does that sound wrong?
Because normally they use dentist's office, but dental office
dentist's
also
office.
technically grammatically is correct.
But yeah, you're sitting around and you're just like, you're picturing yourself in a movie or something.
Right.
These random thoughts. I mean, you find out later that he's not this isn't an inner dialogue. That's how I interpreted it, though.
Yeah.
He kind of seemed like he was thinking about stuff.
Well, it's one thing we talked about when I first watched it was that it could technically be an internal dialogue. None of these, because that's a beautiful thing that Lars Von Trier is great at doing, is blending fantasy with reality, so you're not really sure what's actual and what's just in his head, his own personal interpretation.
Yeah, it's very surreal.
Yeah.
So I say if you want to
get into spoilers,
spoilers, skip to this time code, and if you want to,
we're gonna put we're gonna have things in the description that'll allow you to skip to where you can bypass the spoilers.
Why are you guys guaranteeing shit that I'm gonna have to edit?
I can put it in the YouTube time.
You guys shut your penises up.
So what is it for? He calls them incidents.
Yeah,
Yes.
incidents. There's 6 incidents.
Which I want to talk about the last incident we see.
Sure, yeah.
Visually. Go ahead, though.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say he's... basically, every incident is just him murdering someone. And he explains that he has this urge that builds up, and then he has to release it. Like, pretty much every serial killer has that. Like, that's not right on par.
There's something inside them that they need to physically do it, or else they're uncomfortable.
It just blows my mind, like, to have that urge. Like we were talking
Well,
about,
it's like
alien.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like the concept of like we need sugar, or an alcoholic needs alcohol.
Yeah.
It's just a brain thing that tells them they have to.
I know. I can't comprehend.
I know,
I mean, I
it's
can
really
understand
weird.
it, but I can't comprehend.
Yeah, you can't comprehend it because
I'm not that person.
because you're not that person.
Right.
I can.
It's totally...
No.
No, it's totally alien. It's really fucking weird.
No. It was House that Jack built, not Alien.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I want to talk. You brought up the incidents, but the last incident, as we're into spoilers, the last incident is the one where we physically see Virgil for the first time, and we start the 100% surreal journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna blatantly say 100% surreal.
That's how I thought of it too.
Like from that moment on, it's no longer confusion of what is real and what is surreal.
Mm-hmm.
At this moment,
surrealism.
when we go into that hole, that black hole underneath the house that Jack has finally built,
Very Von Trier, also, by the way, to get real surreal with it near the end.
It's the journey, right? It's the journey. However, at that point, he's not as old as he was when he killed the chick that he was in love with. What do you call it? Simple. Remember, he was, because he was more charismatic then.
Yeah.
It was like he was a pro then.
Yeah.
And then, because the incidents, we should say, they're split up. They're not
They're all
chronological
randomized,
through his
There's no
through
chronological
his killing.
order in this.
It's whatever ones he favored. Remember earlier when we're watching it and he's choking that woman, and that's our second incident. The second incident is what you theorized to be one of his first, or if not his earliest, or if not his first kill, right? But then by the time he's killing Simple, he said that he's 60 deep, right? And then, well, no, because the bodies in the fridge are our chronological order.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm doing a
okay.
whole lot of like actual thinking and debating with myself.
Oh no, it's
like,
cool.
I thought whenever he was killing all the people with the one bullet to save does that look like a Full Metal Jacket to you?
Yeah.
That fucking scene is amazing. But like when he was killing all them, it felt like that was in the middle of his killing spree. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't at the end of his journey as a serial killer. It was somewhere in the middle where he's mastered doing it the way he did with Simple.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, it wouldn't make sense because the bodies within the freezer are in order. They're all there.
Here's the thing. Simple comes first because when he's going to buy the Full Metal Jacket, he pulls out the wallet and it's made of her tit.
Of her tit.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So yes.
See, it's so interesting because
it is his final kill, or would have been his final kill. Spoilers: he doesn't kill the final group of people that he's going to kill with one bullet.
He ends up making his house.
He ends up making his house with the bodies.
Yeah, and this movie's really dense. Like I always considered, like I never considered Simple to be his first kill.
No,
I never thought that.
No,
Simple wasn't his first kill.
he's
we were
already
discussing.
60 deep.
Oh, you
She's
guys
61.
Yeah, when we said this first kill, we were talking about
You mean
incident
it came
number 2.
before? Okay.
Yeah, that it might have came before the.
Now he could be lying too, because it's.
Yeah, this is all his personal interpretations of
yeah.
everything.
Well.
So like, who's to
just
say that
mean-
the Great Rain is even real?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's true, but he could be lying. Like a lot of serial killers, they lie about their numbers
Through their
Mhm.
teeth.
Yeah, like just because like they just lie about it because they want to seem bigger.
Well, they're
But
seem bigger, and they're also sociopathic narcissists, so they see
Right.
no repercussions for lying. They see no negative for lying.
Right. All right. Let's just talk about the first incident that they show. Uma.
Uma
Well,
Thurman.
you were
Thurman.
making a point about when it went surreal. I'll
Well,
let you finish
I was
that.
just I thought that the one bullet he was going to use to kill all 5 or 6 of those men, I thought that was somewhere in the middle of his
Middle,
killing
okay.
spree, not the end. And I only theorized this because John believed that incident number 2 was very much early or first kill, despite being incident 2. That's what told us that the incidents aren't in chronological order because of the way he interacted with the first women
Yeah.
in incident 1 and 2. He bashes Uma Thurman's head in incident 1. Incident 2, he can barely get in the door of the woman he wants to kill.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he finally kills her, he feels bad, kind of a little bit, unsure, helps her come back to life, then kills her again. Okay. The hardest scene to watch. That was the
By
hardest.
far
That was
for
the
me.
hardest scene to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way
It's
you were
horrific.
moving back and forth in your chair uncomfortably, I thought I was going to vomit because I didn't know what you had already seen, and it was already so deep in the mud that I was like, how much further is it going to go? But thankfully I didn't vomit. I think that
It's
was all.
nerve-wracking.
It was just in my head. I was
Yeah.
like, I might vomit if
Well,
it gets any worse
That's
than
why
this.
I was
but
moving
that's-
like that. Is because when I first saw the movie, that felt like I was gonna vomit.
Yeah,
during
I
that
was like,
scene. I was really
yeah.
uncomfortable.
Just and it's not that there's horrible blood or anything like that. It's just
fucking real.
It's so
yeah.
real.
Yeah, it's so visceral.
It's so real. It feels so fucking real. It feels more real than anything I've ever watched. And that's why this movie is so amazing, because
Yeah, like
it's doing what art is supposed to do. You can argue about
Takes you
what
there, man.
art
Yeah.
is, but you can never argue about what art is supposed
Mm-hmm.
to do. And that is supposed to move you. That is supposed to make you feel.
convey.
Whether you're angry
An emotion.
or happy, that art has done exactly what it was supposed to do, and that was to make you feel. So we've got those two, and I think we all agree that those are kind of out of order in his killing spree, how he was from the beginning towards the end. All I thought was that his last incident wasn't the last incident, despite him
The
crawling
absolute
into
last
the
kill,
hole.
yeah.
I didn't think it was the absolute last kill, like you said. But now that I think about it, all the bodies in the room, as they add up throughout the incidents, although they're not linear, we theorize, the bodies were still there, implying that it was the final incident.
Yeah.
So that when he does climb into that hole, when it becomes ultimately 100% surreal, that's all I was debating. Do you think it was the final incident? But now that I've thought about it, and all the
Yeah.
bodies stacking up in the fridge implies that it was the final incident. Because we have all of the incidents up until that moment. We've got
Yeah,
the child, we've got the mother, we have everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I always considered them to be in order.
Well, he deliberately
Every kill
mentions
was in order.
in
And
the
I
movie.
thought
He deliberately
Uma
mentions in the
Thurman's was
movie that he
last.
just picked him out of a hat, random.
He says
Essentially,
that?
essentially, he doesn't say that words verbatim,
Oh, okay.
but essentially, he's like he was just picked because when Virgil is talking to him about like, I noticed that every single one of the stories you're telling me involve a woman who's very stupid and gullible, and he's like, I just picked it at random. I didn't mean to choose it from that reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
okay.
always thought Uma Thurman's kill was later because he looked retired.
Yeah,
I thought he was already living in it and was retired there and had like a kill room or something, and that's what was
okay.
going to be the house, and he was just going to the grocery store and happened upon Uma Thurman. So that's why I thought she was the last kill. The Full Metal Jacket was not the final kill, only supported by the idea that incident number 2 could possibly be his
Yeah.
first kill.
Oh, okay.
Just because the way he acted, he was like driving his car and he's like, "You're really annoying me," and
Yeah.
you're being an inconvenience. And she's like, "You're not a serial killer, are you?" And at that point, I didn't think he was a serial killer because I had no idea what the movie was about.
yeah.
The movie's called The House That Jack Built, and it opens with him helping
that's
this.
so cool. You had no idea.
I had no idea what this movie was about.
Oh, that's awesome.
Despite John more than likely giving away some things like he's a serial killer. I just pushed it out. I had no idea what
that
the
is
fuck
so cool.
we were going to
go into
watch.
it. Yeah.
And so when he smashed her face in, I was like, I thought we were gonna hard cut back to him just, he's just trying. He thought about smashing, and then we go to incident number 2, and I was like, oh, that is set in stone. That is a period. That happened.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment that I realized, holy fuck, what are we getting into? And then when incident 2 happened, I was like, holy fuck, what did I put Rachel and I into? And then by the third incident, I was like, okay, it's not as bad as incident number 2.
Yeah.
I'll be able to live the rest of this movie. I can live it out.
James and I had to stop it. We were both like halfway through. Once we got to Simple, we were both like, my heart was beating out of my fucking chest. I was like, pause. Yeah. Let's finish this tomorrow.
Yeah, but I want to see this movie again.
I want to see the X-rated version.
Yeah.
I want to try it. Yeah.
Guys, I cannot express enough how much this is one of the best films I've ever fucking seen in my life.
That is so
ever
cool.
seen.
Yeah.
Ever seen. It changed the way I wanted to make film, technically. Not story-wise. Story-wise, this felt like a cleaner version of Pulp Fiction, the way we jump around through time. Mm-hmm. And I'm just loosely comparing that to Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Where that film, technically wise, changed it for a lot of directors. This changed it the way it made me feel because of the shots. When we open up on that first scene, and it is just aggressive, and the camera's moving just slightly. It's not like somebody who zoomed in with their fucking video camera and it's shaking that much.
And they can't keep their arms still,
Exactly. It's not that jarring. That type of jarring.
It's a subtle shake.
It's completely composed well, and the camera's just subtly moving like the way humans move naturally as we sway and stand and change position. Right. And it's so aggressively close to the characters.
And it's cutting on the weirdest
and it is
spots.
cutting
and
so...
it's making you like on edge.
Yeah, it makes you
It's
on
intentionally
edge.
disjointed to make you feel...
And that's one of the things I think that caused audiences to leave. They were like, this is horrible. The camera's shaking and they're cutting on the wrong parts,
Pretentious trash was
exactly.
one quote someone said.
Oh.
Where here I'm
Which
like,
is exactly what the fuck he's trying to
It's the whole point of the
pisses
movie
me off.
is
It's
to
like,
fucking...
Come on now.
So, like, the moment the movie started, I was like, this is masterful. I know exactly what he's doing. And no way, shape, or form is this an amateur way of making film, even though people could see that as a...
I knew you'd appreciate that.
You know what I mean? It's like, we've watched countless bad movies here behind John's head. Those are just the DVDs. That's not even the VHS stuff we've watched. That's not even the streaming stuff that we've watched. Yeah. And we've seen bad directing and bad editing. This is editing so masterful, it makes people leave because they probably cannot comprehend.
Dude,
they can't comprehend.
Lars eats, shits, and breathes the film language.
Yes.
He understands it
Absolutely.
in and out.
Absolutely.
It's like a part of him.
Yeah.
It's... I don't know. I tend to praise him a little much.
No,
I would equate it to...
man.
I would equate
so
his filmmaking ability to that of Pablo Picasso as an artist.
Yes.
He learned all the techniques. He became a masterful artist at doing everything right.
Camera when we it's no longer audio
it
anymore.
Matter.
You turd.
Yeah.
You fuck.
I'm just keeping it real.
I would equate Lars's filmmaking to that of Pablo Picasso. You learn all the rules so that you can then break them. He became a master of all of the details of how to make film, both from a technical standpoint and how to make stories, so that he can create it the way he wants to.
I completely agree. Yeah,
I think
it's
like
you can
be all of us. Yeah.
A lot of people, they set out to make a movie like this, but they haven't made normal movies yet.
Yeah.
Like Lars he has like 8 films under his belt, 8 or 9, something like that. And like what's it fucking called? He has this like sepia tone movie. It's all sepia tone.
Oh.
I haven't finished it, but it's fucking incredible.
Somebody was telling me
incredible. It's like it's an epic. It's like this post-apocalyptic epic.
Yeah.
And it's like the entire film is orange.
That's awesome.
It's
that sounds
so
really cool.
It's like 3 hours long. All of his movies are really long.
Yeah, he does like long films, but
who
like
cares?
yeah,
they fly by.
they're engaging. Like
That's
fucking
You made
who
this
cares?
point.
And they're engaging. That's
Yeah.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
But no, you made
Say
the
the point that I
when we
made.
when we here. Let me just honk. Making
He
no.
has honkable nips.
Wait. Oh, I wasn't going for the
You
nips.
honk
my
the
friend.
dong, bro.
Yeah.
Honk.
honk,
the
bro.
dong.
But no, he like you were saying when we watched it is that you just like that was 2.5 hours, but it just flew by.
Yeah, it flew by.
But we'll watch a movie that's an hour 20 and it'll drag.
Yeah.
A big thing that separates a lot of like good filmmakers from terrible filmmakers, and that comes with subtlety.
Yeah.
Understanding that you can
Subtlety.
you can show what the audience needs to know without having to fucking like shove it down their throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you got the legend shit? I'm kidding.
I was showing the folks.
I don't think holographs work
It's
on
not gonna
camera.
work, yeah.
No, it'd totally work. So I mean, we've
Jack that house built. Go ahead.
The Jack that house built.
And the kid.
God, that kid was so if
That
you
is the
don't
most
laugh,
disturbing thing.
if you watch this movie and you don't laugh at the frozen kid in the ice box, I'm sorry. That is fucking hilarious. I'm not laughing at children being murdered.
No, it's
I'm laughing
the absurdity
at
of
the absurdity
Absurd
of
and
it.
disgusting.
You're
Yeah.
seeing this. He has killed this child.
Yeah, the child who never smiled.
He's now opened its eyes and frozen its mouth in such a way that it's constantly smiling. So he's created his own dummy out of this frozen boy, and it is so funny because of how dark and twisted it is.
Yeah,
You
it's
just have to
so
laugh
fucked
because
up.
your brain can't process it because you're not a
Exactly.
serial killer.
Yeah.
So you're just like,
It's like an insane laughter, like a crazy person. does.
exactly, yeah.
I kept looking at you guys while we were watching, and James, you were like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was
John was just like this acceptance, like he's already seen it, and we're just getting through it.
I loved every minute of this.
Not to say you didn't like
No,
it,
absolutely.
but you're just
But
like,
yeah,
oh
no, yeah.
my God, here
Yeah,
we
no,
go again.
Yeah, exactly. We're going back on the roller coaster. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
Scary
it a
the
third
first
time with even worse.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for the unrated.
Yeah.
One thing I will say that despite this being one of the best films I viewed of 2019, and probably my entire fucking life, there was one moment that I could not stand in this film, and that is
yes.
when Lars Von Trier is he's having this. Lars Von
yes, I know what
Trier's
you're talking
voice,
about.
I should say voice, is coming through Matt Dillon as, what is art, and we shouldn't idolize idols. We shouldn't create idols and look up to them. And as this is happening, his discussion, Jack and Virgil, Lars Von Trier decides to put up his own film.
Footage of 4 of his movies.
Yeah.
4 of his movies, and that was
like
where I was openly against it. However,
didn't like that
I
either.
completely understand why he did it.
I don't.
it's-
Maybe you can tell
Well, John
me
and
your
I
view
talked
on
about it
'cause
a
I
little
don't
bit.
understand.
John, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I felt that because he was speaking of it, while it is a little pretentious, but again, this is a movie about a pretentious narcissist, so it kind of fits the theme.
You have to remember.
Yeah,
that.
he was speaking on don't idolize things, don't create idols, even me. I'm
Even me.
creating an idol out of my own self, but don't follow idolizing. I'm showing because of Jack's pretentious narcissism. He's bringing out his own, letting his own id fly a little bit with his pretentious narcissism, because he does have a little pretentiousness.
Yeah.
And so therefore he was showing his own works. He's creating his own variation of an idol out of himself, and showing like don't follow this.
Okay. Yeah.
But at the same, I understand that. But at the same time,
a
I'm
good
like,
point,
don't
yeah.
put your own footage in there.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like
repulsive. Yeah, don't do that.
it's like putting your name as director, writer, producer, editor. It's
Pretty
like
much-
just do a film
Pretty
by.
much
Right.
don't.
I should have known that 5 years ago, 5, 6, 7
Yeah,
years ago.
don't do what we all did in high school
Exactly.
and early college.
It was a little repulsive, but I mean, I've actually, you're making a good point, and I think that's probably exactly what he was talking about. I think if he was gonna go that meta with it, he should have went a little bit further for me.
Yeah,
he
too
should have
meta
been
that it's
like-
absurd.
like even just flat out say, like,
Don't idolize Lars Von Trier.
yeah, even like that crazy. If he should have went crazier with it, because he like danced on it. Like him and Virgil were talking about idols, and then they just they show his footage of Melancholia. I think Antichrist.
I was so turned off.
Yeah,
I would have preferred. I would have preferred religious idols. I would have preferred
iconography.
Dictators, which at one point they did use dictators, which was really good, really great scene. But it's like, I don't need to see your film. You making this film is enough. Like, you're already saying so much. To me, him putting his stuff was that even one further. Where you wish it would have gone one further, the film was him putting his own stuff was just the one too far. I was like,
I think so.
You could have had Jesus on a cross. I mean, you could.
Yeah, there's plenty of options.
Allah,
you can do for
even though there's no actual picture of Allah or any visualization.
Muhammad.
Yeah.
He stated that this is kind of a meta-narrative for his career. He stated
which
that.
supports his
argument.
argument.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just like, we all agree that it's like...
That's fine. I got that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we understand it, but we just hate the footage.
Yeah.
I hated it. You hated it. You hated it. We were just kind of like, no, I'm watching the house that Jack built.
Right. And it's like, ugh.
It
didn't ruin the film at all. It just
no, by no
doesn't
means
ruin
does
the
it ruin
film.
the film,
It's
but
just
it's just,
that one. It's that one. If this
Literally,
film is
that one
100%
Yeah.
without that footage, it's 99% with that footage.
I agree.
It's just that one, just supplement it with something else. I totally get what you're doing, Lars, but supplement it.
I want to talk to Lars about him doing that.
I do too. We'll see if
About
his
the whole
plane's gonna
movie.
get here.
I'd love to talk to him about it. I want to know his,
Isn't he a recluse?
I have no idea.
He's very
no, he's a human. He's not a spider.
Matt Dillon he stated how uncomfortable it was shooting the film. I read something he was talking about, basically, especially after like the simple scene.
Yeah.
He was so like apologetic and like very gentle with the cast when they're not filming.
Yeah.
Because he felt horrible.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
That's
can imagine.
It made
that's
him
like
feel
that's
really
like
bad.
Alan Tudyk in 42.
The what?
Alan Tudyk, the guy who he played.
What's that?
He played Walsh in Firefly, but he was in 42, the Jackie Robinson movie. He was the other team's manager, and this was a racist time, so he
played
a racist character.
Oh, okay.
So after every cut, he would go around and apologize, and everyone's like, "We know you're not racist. You're just playing a character. It's okay, dude." And he's like, "I know you know, but I feel so bad about
Yeah.
it."
Right?
Yeah.
I would feel the same way. I mean, especially like the shit Matt Dillon has to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Ugh.
And we've only seen the R-rated.
We've seen the R-rated
Yeah,
one.
Like,
we haven't even seen the NC-17
Man,
one.
It's got to be bad at craft service. Like, hey, how's it?
Or I guess
Good
unrated.
shoot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I drew a line around your boobie.
Yeah.
And try the Tex-Mex. It's
God.
delicious. Since we're still in spoilers, what was it? Third incident when they're talking about predators and prey, and he takes the family out.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
a hunting.
God,
hunting trip.
yes.
Holy shit!
That was horrible, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
There was something about it that was disconnecting from Incident 2. Incident 2 was
Wasn't as
so
personal.
Yeah.
Incident 2 was so fucking personal.
may have been-
and that camera was right there.
Yeah,
as he's like,
that's what I'm thinking. I think a lot of it had to do
choking
with the
her.
way he was shooting, with the way he shot it. Because in the second incident, it's still in that very close, minor shake thing. And in the hunting incident, a lot of the shots are very wide and open.
They
True,
very
yeah.
much are.
Yeah.
And even whenever he pulls the trigger, we never see the squibs. We never see impact. Nothing like that on the children. The mother, however, that final shot, how it rips her body across the mud. Like it's like they must have had her strapped to a
Jesus Christ.
harness and just
Yeah.
pulled her just enough from the impact of that bullet. But watching it is so real. It looks like footage. We've all seen footage of somebody at some point being removed from this plane of existence, and there is something so real about it. There's
Yeah, man.
you can't mimic it.
The
You
X-rated-
can't mimic it. And this movie just ripped at me. Like when her body got shot, I felt it. I felt it.
Yeah,
I could
man.
smell the fucking
It's real.
straw
So
of
real.
the mud. I could smell the nature. I could feel the wind, and the cold silence of her body being just ripped inches. And when I say ripped, I mean it's when the bullet hits her body moves from the impact of the bullet coming so fast, so close. When her body just rips across the ground like that, it makes you can't breathe. You feel like you just watched somebody leave.
Yeah, it's that scene is one of the funnier scenes of the movie.
Thank you.
No, it's horrific. But I bet the X-rated one has squibs on kids.
The kids.
Squibs on kids.
Squibs on kids.
Squibs on
Kids.
This is what a nice movie.
That's
huh?
that's the episode title right there. Squibs on kids.
What a nice film.
That was-
Take Grandma to see this one.
Oh, yeah.
She'll love it.
Even though they didn't show the kids getting killed, we would just see them.
They did it very well, though.
We just see them through the scope, and then the second the trigger's pulled, pow,
And then you just
we
hear
cut to
the mother
woman screaming or something.
That
or,
sounded real.
Yeah.
It was like a death scream.
And then he forced her to have a picnic with the kids before he killed her.
Oh my
with the,
god,
with the
that
kids'
was
corpses.
so horrible.
It's like I think he wants a little bit of pie.
and he's like this. He's like this.
Oh my god, that scene is
like
so
this.
bad.
Yeah. He's like, this is a good day.
It's a good day.
This is a good day. Yeah.
He's having a good day.
Oh,
you
he's
guys.
having a great day.
It is psychotic.
He's literally
Yeah.
having a good day.
Best performance.
Oh.
Matt Dillon.
I'll have
Best
to give it
performance.
to you. Yeah.
Man,
What? What?
what are you talking about?
He said he likes the first scene of hearing loss in you.
Oh, you fuck.
What?
I want to talk about the most beautiful, awe-inspiring moment of the film, and that is when we see Virgil. We've climbed into the hole that is beneath Jack's house that he has built, and we are now journeying. We are on a journey to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, it was.
that is the most beautiful filmmaking I've ever seen. When they're on the boat,
Yeah, the
And
Renaissance picture.
the bodies in constant torment, like hanging on
writhing.
the edge, and they're all in different shades of pain, and you're just like, holy fucking shit.
No, it's beautiful. It's truly masterful. The only thing that threw me off a little bit is he's dressed like a gangster, like a wankster type, and he's like, "What up, dog?" I didn't like that part.
Shut
too much.
up! God damn it! I was like believing you. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, he was in a suit. He's in just a fucking suit.
Remember when they're both climbing down the ladder and the
They're-
walls are
Oh,
writhing?
yeah.
Oh my god, it reminds me of Antichrist.
Yeah, it's
despite,
so
I
Antichrist.
said that to you. I was like,
Yeah.
it reminded me of Antichrist. Despite not seeing Antichrist, I've
Seen the cover, right?
I've seen
Yeah.
cover and I've seen a little bit of footage, and the moving bodies. It makes me think they exist within the same world.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Didn't
Because
think
of
that.
Lars Von Trier putting in his own
Own
movie,
movies, yeah.
it supports the idea that Lars Von Trier exists in the same world that Jack exists in. So it gives a little bit more validity.
Makes
So
them all
who's your
real.
favorite character in the LVTU?
Lars Von Trier universe. To you. Yeah, when they're climbing down the ladder and you just see the bodies,
Universe-sizing.
the bodies
Ugh.
are moving and just worming. It looks like a
Hey,
box of
it works.
fucking
It works
worms.
for popcorn movies.
One guy is like,
What are you doing?
joke,
Jerking off?
joke ended.
You nailed it.
Thanks,
You are a joke.
thanks.
No, I liked it that they were climbing down two different ladders. Like, they're at different places.
Yeah.
Unless they were climbing down the same ladder
They're showing
at different
both.
spots.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which showing it
right,
like
yeah.
that.
That'd be cool.
Which, again, masterful.
Yeah.
Lars Von Trier. The fact that we're sitting here talking about one shot that lasted 5 seconds at max,
Yeah.
and we can't even tell if it's one ladder, two ladders, are they in the same place?
Yeah.
But it's
He's
so
fucking with
jarring.
you,
It's
yeah.
so jarring and so beautiful, and all you can see are their bodies on the. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, despite the entire journey you've gone through to get to this point. The beauty of hell. You've walked through so much motor oil.
Yeah.
And you're here and you're just like in you're awed by the beauty of hell, which is ironic because hell should be horrible, yet reality was horrible, and hell is just so heavenly.
Yeah.
You're watching. I would just the juxtaposition that Lars Von Trier did there.
Yeah.
Where reality was horrible and hellish, and then hell is like beautiful
And serene, almost.
and you're just like
in its own little twisted way.
Yeah, totally. The one thing that really turned it up. So this is something that I notice that David Lynch does. You can't film a dream, right? So he has a guy describe one.
Yeah.
And the way he describes it fucking puts you there. So Lars Von Trier did that in this movie where he says they're walking through the tunnel going to hell, and he's like, what is that noise? And it's just a sine wave. And he's like, the sounds of every person in hell screaming at once mixed together and just create a sine wave, just a dial tone. Like,
did you just toot?
No, it was my stomach.
Okay.
But yeah, everyone screaming at once, that was like felt real. And
Yeah.
it's like, even though hell doesn't exist, it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like something you can believe being real.
Simple, you are dumb
as fuck.
So fucked up and
Oh,
mean.
it's so dark.
It's just mean.
Yeah.
And it's like that's another thing to point at is he sees these people as stupid. He actually thinks that because he's a fucking narcissist. But it's like their like their needs make them vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, she just wants to be loved.
Yeah.
So that's why she's getting murdered, because she trusted this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He gave her warning signs.
It's
very clear that he is kind of he's different than most people.
The woman with the kids just wanted a father figure in her kid's life.
Right. Yeah.
The second incident was motivated by greed.
In the universe of the film, there's this like thing going on where he's being blatant about his crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But he almost knows he's not going to get caught.
Yeah.
And that's like...
Specifically with Simple, whenever
Yeah.
the cop is there. And
Right,
she
and, like,
says
he
he's the
specifically
cop
says it
killer,
too.
and he's like,
he just
I've
tells
killed
her,
60
I'm
people.
a fucking serial
Yeah.
killer, basically. And it's like, the universe is not letting him get caught. And that's like, you can see that being in someone's world. Like when he drags the body through the street, it's essentially a map to where he's at.
Oh my god,
He's
yeah.
basically telling the world,
Yeah.
I'm a serial killer. You can find me here. Like, he's telling the world that, and then it starts to rain. And it washes it
Yeah.
away. And it's like, that felt very surreal because
Definitely.
it washes it away immediately. Visually.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. And it's like, okay, so it's not literally the rain. It's the universe telling him, like, he's not going to get caught. That kind of shit happens in real life where no matter how blatant you're acting, you're not getting caught. It doesn't have to be a crime. It could be
Right.
anything. Like, the more blatant you are, the less likely you are to...
Yeah.
People don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
So they're not going to... Most people, they're not going to do shit.
Well, with Simple, he's like telling her to scream, and she's screaming help.
Right.
And the neighbors with the lights, nobody...
Yeah, no
Nobody's
lights
coming.
come on.
There's lights and everything.
He starts screaming louder.
Yeah, he's like
You're not
louder.
screaming well enough. Let me show you. Help!
Nobody wants to help!
Ow, that's it for spoilers. I do want to say we never do like a rating system, and with Shit Show, whenever we talked about those movies, it's like which one was the better of the two. I just want to
5 cocks out of 5.
All right, that's your rating. Wonderful. So, you're such a beautiful spirit, and I'm glad we have this outlet for you to channel yourself and
I love interrupting.
weirdness through.
Is it hot in here?
No, it's just you and your diabetes. You fuck. This should be a Criterion film. This should
Absolutely.
be Library of Congress for education on serial killers, because Matt Damon's performance totally...
Matt Damon.
I mean, Matt Dillon's performance totally emulates sociopaths and psychopaths, the way he talks. This movie was so close to realistic for a serial killer, to my known knowledge of serial killers,
Right.
that it should be in the Library of Congress and used as a piece of educational where do I go from that? Educational
Just
device.
just
No, I didn't
educational.
see that.
Here you could show that safely without anybody being dead, and you can get it in a realistic fashion, and you can get to understand a killer and the way they think and talk and things like that.
It's a good point.
And how they see the world. This film is incredible, and I think every person who truly enjoys film and watches every spectrum of film, Marvel to art, Marvel to Scorsese. You know what I mean? Like any variance of that spectrum, you should, if you can watch anything in that spectrum, you should watch this movie as well. This is important to any film lover or filmmaker.
Just make sure you have a
In
strong
10 years, I will
constitution.
stand by that. It's what is
Just
it?
make sure you have a strong constitution going into it, because
Yeah, it's incredibly
can't
difficult to
handle-
watch.
can't handle that type of stuff.
It's hard to
For
watch.
everybody.
Yeah.
We talked about how it made us feel physically and emotionally. So just go in knowing that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that you can't handle this film as any other person couldn't handle a film. It's fake. You have to remember that.
Like, after I watched it, I had blood in my stool. So yeah, no, it's a good gosh darn movie. Gosh darn it, watch it.
This is the only film we watched that
I'm
night.
so pumped that you guys liked it as much as I did.
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
so
wait
cool.
to watch Antichrist,
Yeah.
because I
dude.
hear that one's just as
Antichrist
rough,
is
if
fantastic.
not
There's-
rougher to watch.
Another one, not for everyone.
Yeah, not for everyone.
Yeah, if you want to get your I Am Legend holographic plates, James has one.
We're
Yeah.
actually doing a
Can't buy
raffle.
this
We're
one.
doing a raffle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what's the address that you assholes always use?
P.O. Box
Send your,
642
raffle
Wharf
ticket there.
Avenue.
Yeah, 642 Wharf
Yeah,
Avenue.
642 Wharf Avenue.
And you can get your I Am Legend holographic plate.
Oh god, you had
And
it's out of focus.
It's
not.
completely out of
There you
focus,
go.
yeah.
See, that's,
We're professionals. We don't have autofocus
that
on.
is Will Smith, and he is elbowing a monster right in the
Damn.
patootie.
Bruh, that's awesome. Can I
Dude.
see that collector's? Oh shit! I dropped it on
Oh no.
accident.
Let's bring it all back with one giant house that Jack built summation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frame
Go ahead.
stucco masonry.
All right,
Corpses.
so
What do you think?
Jack built a house, movie over.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was a masterpiece. I mean, it delved into the human psyche, it delved into psychology. They had a lot of things of like the id and narcissism. And
The idea of what is art.
Yeah, the
that's
idea of what
completely
is art.
relative to the viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing fantastic.
Yeah,
John.
no,
Keep
it
going.
was it was
I don't mean to
absolutely
cut you off.
it was absolutely magnificent, and like pretty much everyone here has said, if you can handle that kind of subject matter, things that are very intense, very very raw, very visceral, I can't recommend this enough.
Yeah, this movie will move you.
Yeah.
This movie will truly move you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
It's all about if
a
you
good
want to go
fucking
on that
movie.
journey, though.
Yeah, you really have to be prepared for what you're getting into.
Well, that's it for us. I don't have anything else. Josh, did you want to round up anything?
Nothing else.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. I'm glad you're done.
Echo,
And,
I echo everything you guys said.
No, but that's it for us here at Cinema Shat. This is our new year, our new season.
Yeah, new
and,
season.
We're going to be seeing a lot more of you guys and a lot more of us.
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa. We got some stuff coming up, and I'm very excited. What are you doing?
I'm excited.
You're going to get kicked off the channel.
Oh. Really? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
You
Stop
ever fog
fucking
up your
around.
own glasses?